Yeah, I mean, it was a great opportunity for us to get another opportunity to play and win a game. It's always tough to travel up the day of the game, but the guys really showed a great deal of resolve and just kept playing hard. The first quarter, I think we only shot the ball 6 times. We didn't really have it a whole lot. Finished the game in a deficit of almost 20 shots being outshot, outground ball by 20. You normally walk away from those games not expecting to win or even be in it. But the fact that we were able to, kind of steal a victory there late in the fourth quarter and in that second overtime frame, it makes you feel proud as a coach. I'm really proud of these guys because, we've all been through a lot the past year. But to just be able to stay in it and play 65-plus minutes of lacrosse is a tough feat in itself. And I'm just so proud that they showed the resolve that they did to still be in the game late, but then also obviously to pull it out when it was on the line.
Also, from a player perspective, what was it like for you guys kind of going into that overtime period, but also having to make that adjustment of a late game change and then kind of having to change that mindset?
It was kind of difficult adjusting because we kind of schedule like our day before routines. I know the guys I live with do different things, so we kind of switched that up, and it was a little challenging. Driving down to the game, you could kind of tell before the game we were going to come out a little slow. Our feet were moving like they normally do. And that's something that coach was saying, get your feet moving off the bus. And I think ultimately it was a fun game. Overtime was a lot of fun. But it was just us being in better condition than those guys and wanting a little more later in the end of the game.
You guys can add whatever you need.
I'll just go ahead. As far as overtime goes, that's our third one-goal game, so it's always pretty nerve-wracking. So I would just say that, I guess we're getting better at doing things, at the last second. So as a team, we're doing a lot better at that. So proud of us.
He's not going to say anything. Yeah.
So, Coach, you kind of had an overtime game where you lost, an overtime game where you won. Do you think either one of those will help you going forward?
I think so. It's funny. We talked about this yesterday. The 2018 team won 6 one-goal games, and we were 16-3 that year, whatever it was. You lose those games, and now all of a sudden you're 11-8, and so we're that close. Is what I'm trying to get these guys to understand, is that you're that close to being as good as you want to be, but it's the everyday consistent effort. So I do think that that's going to help us later on in the year. I do know that there was a feeling in that going into overtime that we weren't going to lose the game. And it wasn't that Colorado College wasn't a quality team, because they obviously were. But like that first frame, we get a chance to get on offense, they get a chance to get on offense, our goalie makes a couple saves, we miss a couple shots, and then we go to that second overtime. You could just tell that we weren't going to let it drop, and Drew and his brother were on the wing of the faceoff at the end, and you could just tell when Jake and the other long pole for Colorado College were going after the ball that Jake Eickleman wasn't going to lose that one-on-one hockey ground ball. And those are the types of things that when I start to look at this team, I'm starting to identify and notice that each guy's starting to step up and do things a little bit differently. Jokingly, I said James couldn't be left out of the interview because he heard me ask the other 2 guys, so he wanted to be here. But if I went down this row, 1 goal, 3 assists, 3 goals, 4 assists, or 4 goals, 3 assists, 1 goal and an assist, or at least a big goal, and James continued to play better every week. And each one of these guys are getting better at doing their job. And sophomore, senior, sophomore, they don't really know what their job is week to week. And these types of games help them discover what their job is. And sometimes it's just to pick up a ground ball. Sometimes it's to make the game-winning assist. Sometimes it's to hit a step-down shot. And at the end of the day, that's really what sports are about, is everyone buying into their role and recognizing what their job is. And I think that a game like yesterday helped us discover a little bit more of what each person's job is. Did you have anything you wanted to add on or no?
Oh, no? Okay.
He was shaking his head, yes. I didn't know if he had some words of wisdom.
You kind of mentioned it with his last game. I'm looking at the stats. The saves is like a glaring statistic now. You guys have double. Is that credit to the goalies, or is that not credit to the
No,
defense?
I think it's I was about to say, I think it's more of a lack of credit to every other player in the field, because when another team doubles you up in ground balls, you know this, you played, when they double you up in ground balls, you're facing 2-to-1 possessions. So the defense is going to play more defense. So I can't really blame that on the defense. And sure, the goalies did a nice job, but I blame Carson for not getting more ground balls in the offensive end, Drew not getting more in the middle of the field, James not getting more in the middle of the field, and their teammates subsequently down the line. You should never put yourself in a position where you've got to try to, win the game ugly because you don't pick up enough balls and you don't get enough shots. And that's basic principles of lacrosse. When you talk about lacrosse, you want to win faceoffs, you want to win the ground ball war. Faceoffs were 50-50, ground balls we got doubled up. Not supposed to win that. And again, that's why I'm pretty happy for these guys and just proud of them more than anything.
This week, conference play starts
Yeah.
on the road, biggest rival in the league.
Yeah. Well, I think,
Where's our mindset going into that?
I don't know. I'm going to flip it over to these guys and let them talk a little bit on it, especially Carson, because I know Drew and James, the sophomores, haven't had a chance to play an RMAC game, right? I mean, as a sophomore, you haven't played or you've played an RMAC game, but not the RMAC kind of rival, So we talked about that a little bit today at practice. We started slow, but we finished strong, and part of that message was making sure that these guys understand what the guys from Purple really bring to the table.
Yeah, as Coach said it, he put it on the upperclassmen, the seniors and the juniors, to kind of emphasize to the younger guys on the team the importance of this game. I think close to like 75% of our team are all kids that this is either their first year or it's their, red shirt freshman year because of COVID last year. So they haven't got the opportunity to play the guys in purple from Salt Lake. So it's important for us to kind of emphasize the passion that we have to play this game and to come out with a victory.
Anything you guys want to add? Anything else?
So, you guys went from not playing in forever to now just playing a bunch of road games in a row?
Yeah.
What's that kind of like? And then is the next home game anywhere close to
I don't know when we play at home. We kind of consider these local games home games in a sense. We only had to travel 5 hours to the last one versus 24 or whatever it was. It's tough. It's really tough. We pride ourselves on being called the Road Warriors. That's what we amongst our team and amongst each other and the alumni refer to ourselves. I didn't talk about this after our North Carolina trip, but those guys traveled 6,000 miles to play 3 lacrosse games, 3 games in 4 days. I don't know a whole lot of teams in any sport that's doing that stuff. And so we're excited to play a more regional, localized game. But that's what Carson's kind of alluding to, and he didn't just come out and say it, but I'll say it. If we win on Friday, the chances of us playing away games is diminished greatly. So we want to win on Friday. We don't want to get on the bus but one more time, and that's next weekend to Pueblo and Adams, and then we're home the whole month of April. There's not a whole lot to not be smiling about in that, but we've got to come out and we've got to take care of business. They're fully fresh. They didn't play this week. They played on Saturday. They didn't play Monday. So they have a whole week to prepare. We've got 3 days to prepare, but I'm excited to see how these guys do on Friday, because I think if they bring the hunger they brought to the second portion of practice today, we should be in good shape.
Okay, questions of the week, rapid fire. You guys all have to answer at the same time. Okay, first thing that comes to mind, don't think about it.
Is it one question or multiple
They're
questions?
multiple.
Okay.
It's like this or that.
Okay, got it.
Sweet or sour?
Sweet.
Cake or pie?
Cake.
Breakfast or dinner?
Breakfast.
TV shows or movies?
TV shows.
Ocean or mountains?
Mountains.
I'm the odd guy out. You guys have a great day. Thank you.